You are welcome once again to New Focused Approach to Mathematics Basic 9. This is the revised edition of the book, and in this lesson, our target is to learn how to solve word problems involving rates and percentages. Specifically, we want to look at simple interest. In the subsequent video, we'll be looking at discounts, and we'll be looking at depreciation and so on and so forth. So we'll be taking a series of questions to solve. Remember, this is a revised version of the simple interest, because we did simple interest as a whole topic in basic 8. Right. So let's take example and see. Mauli deposited 5,000 into a savings account that earns 4% simple interest per year. How much interest will she earn after 3 years? Remember, the amount you deposit is referred to as your principal. This figure here, in terms of percentage, is the rate. And then the number of years you are going to keep your money becomes the time given. And so what is the simple interest? How much interest will you earn after 3 years? We've learned that simple interest is given as principal times time times rate. This is what we know from our previous lesson. And the rate is in terms of percentage, right? So if you want to know the simple interest, the principal that you deposited was 5,000. The time you want to keep your money up to is 3 years, and the rate they are giving you is 4%, which is 4/100. Okay, now you simplify this, and that gives you the answer. Of course, you can cancel these zeros and cancel that zeros as well. Now you'll be left with 3 times 4 times 50. Now we know 3 times 4 is 12. Now we can now multiply 12 times 50. So in multiplying 50 times 5, we know we can easily do 5 times 12, and that is 60, and we attach the remaining 0 here to give us 600. So what we are saying here is that how much interest will she earn after 3 years? She's going to earn the interest of 600 cedis in addition to his 5,000 deposited in the bank for 3 years if the rate is 4%. Right. Let's take another example and see. Kwame took out a loan of 8,000 at annual simple interest rate of 6%. How much interest will he pay after using the money for 2 years? Okay, so again, the simple interest is equal to the principal times time times rate. Note that the rate is in percentage, so it must be over 100. Okay, now we want to know the principal. According to the question, it is given as 8,000. What about the time? 2 years. What about the rate? 6. So 6/100. Okay, so 6/100. Now, once again, we can do simple cancellation here. This 2 zeros can cancel this one. We have our 80 times 12. That's 6 times 6. 2 times 6, 12. Now we can multiply 12 by 80. But we can easily do this by saying 12 times 8 alone is 96. Then we attach the 0 to it. So we can say 960. Simple, right? Good. That means if you borrow money from the bank and the amount you took was 8,000, and the bank says that after every year you pay 6% interest and you keep the money for 2 years, you have to pay the bank 960 Ghana cedis as interest. Right. Now let's take the last example. So Amma invested 3,000 in a fixed deposit account that pays 5% simple interest annually. How much interest will she earn after 5 years? We go by the same principle, okay, and that is going to be principal times time times rate, and note that rate is over 100. So the principal is 3,000, that is deposited amount, the time is 5 years, and the rate is 5%. Now if you put this together, rate is 5%, so 5/100. Okay, if you cancel these 2 zeros, we have 30 times 5, 25. Now we can multiply these two numbers. at least we can do 3 times 25, which will be 75. Then we attach 0 to say 750 Ghana cedis. Now it means that Amma will receive 750 Ghana cedis as simple interest. In some cases, you could be asked to find how much will be the total amount received by Amma at the end of the 5 years. When that question comes, it's a matter of now knowing the interest to be 750. Then your amount will be equal to the principal plus the simple interest. And so the principal is 3,000, and then the interest accumulated is 750. In this case, we can say that when we add these two numbers, we will have 3,750 Ghana cedis. So this will be the total amount Amma will receive at the end of 5 years. That is her deposit and then her interest put together. I'm sure this has really helped you in understanding how to apply rate and percentages in solving problems like simple interest. Thanks so much for watching.